Hello, one and all, and welcome to another exciting adventure on Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. Here's some sage so that you could come in and spend this special time for you. It's almost like me time coming in and listening to us. And today is a fun day because we have card pulls for the collective and individually, and we have such a special meditation. So if you like this material, I'd like you to go and like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, but we're also on the Breakthrough Show Network and the Very Paranormal. How's that called, Rhonda?
Veryparanormal.com.
Okay, veryparanormal.com and all kinds of places. So we're glad that you found us today, and we are ready to get started with messages for October. Kim, do you have a meditation for us?
Yes, I would love to take us in a meditation to honor the cycles in ourselves and also honor this new cycle we're stepping in of autumn. So I want to invite you to close your eyes. If you're driving or occupied something requiring your full attention, please come back at a later moment. But for now, just take a moment for you and close your eyes and just for a moment connect with your beautiful body, your beautiful vessel. Going into the energies, the portal of your heart. So just for a moment, center and realign. And as you follow the guidance of my voice, it already beautifully happens. So as we're stepping into this October, it's inviting you for a moment to feel, to reconnect to these deep desires you feel within yourself. And maybe something tangible is coming forward, or maybe you feel it in energy, a vibration. But to reconnect to the intention you set in January as we started this new year. And just let the frequencies of this intention, of this desire, build within you. And from the portal of your heart, it is inviting this flow of radiant love codes to overflow into your desires. If you would see like your inner space, your inner world as an inner garden, and you've planted at the beginning of this year, you've planted beautiful seeds of your desires, seeds of your wishes, of your dreams, of your intentions. And throughout the year, you have nourished these seeds. And now, through the power of love, through the portal of your heart, see how you're sending like beautiful drops of water-filled love into the soil of your inner garden. And know that this happens effortlessly. It's alone allowing yourself to be guided. Your higher self and your team of love and light are supporting you in beautiful ways. And maybe you can already see beautiful sprouts coming out of the ground, rising above the surface. And as you notice this little seed coming above the ground, maybe this little plant or this little flower that has pierced through the surface, it's taking a moment to honor its growth. Because it needs most of its momentum when it's under the ground. When you have a seed within the soils, most of momentum is needed to let the seed awaken, let the sprout come to life. And then the most difficult part is just before it's going through the surface of the soil. And it's taking a time to honor yourself and your journey. Because as you planted the seeds of your dreams, of your desires, of your intention, most of the time there's first a cycle of releasing all the things that prevent you from manifesting that desire into your life. And that is the field of resistance. Because a part of you is resisting. Maybe there's a wounded aspect stepping forward. Maybe a not seen inner child part. And it's honoring this building of momentum, this healing journey that supports this seed to break through the surface, to break through the ceiling, to break through the soil. So as you're stepping into October, as you're stepping into autumn, it's time to receive the fruits of your labor, to cherish the apples that are on the trees. But most importantly, to honor the journey that you went through, to honor yourself, that led to these fruits, that led to these beautiful flowers and seeds coming above the ground. And it's just for a moment letting these love codes support you in that. Tu sei lumade save lumata, tu me dame sade kumata, tu save lumadeva. Truma senu naveda dame save trumata dame saveda. And as we're stepping into the last months of this year, which parts of your inner garden already flourish on their own? And which part maybe need more attention, need more love, more nourishment? And it's inviting the field of infinite possibilities that is all around you to guide you into aligned action, to nourish these seeds that need just a little bit more love, to nourish this part of your inner garden that is also ready to blossom. So just for a moment, feel how you're open to receive. And maybe there's a specific message coming through. Maybe you immediately receive inspiration of a step you can take to bring your dreams even more into your life, into your reality. And as you receive this information, we invite you to come back to the portal of your heart, to take a deep breath and to just for a moment soak in all these beautiful love codes that are here to honor you, to celebrate you, and to nourish you. And then slowly in your own divine time, move your fingers and your toes and to come back into the present. And I welcome you back. Thank you.
That was gorgeous.
Yes, really honoring like what we went through to come here. Whatever has happened, like it's honoring this now sacred moment where we're standing and like the beautiful things, but also the challenges that has brought us here. And it's only in this now moment that we can make choices for our future and that we can nourish these seeds and can become conscious aware. So what was your intention as we started and what are you moving forward into? And that's so important. It's a moment of yes.
I saw when you were at the singing part of us, I felt as if you were a part of nature, singing to the trees and those of us in the areas. And it's like your song was about shifting and changing, let go of the leaves. Even though you weren't saying the things, it was just the feeling. And I felt like I was there too, as a part of nature, turning things over and switching things around. So it felt like a unison. I don't know how to call it, harmony and stuff.
I love that. That's really beautiful. Yeah. And it's really, I think, a moment of surrender, a moment of where the leaves are falling down, but that's just a beautiful beginning also of a new cycle. So sometimes we need to release something to be open to this new creation that wants to be birthed. And yeah, so it's beautiful. Yes.
Very cool. Do you have a card for us too, Kim?
Yes, I have two cards. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
My first card was out of the Mother Mary Oracle deck of Elena Fairchild. Ooh,
Oh,
number
beautiful.
14. Let's see.
We were just talking about her yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Mother Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these cards. Our Lady of Divine Presence. So I will read a little part. So, you have been preparing to receive me, opening your heart and clearing away past shame and doubt. You have been asking for the divine light to be with you, and I tell you now, I am alive within you. Your wish to serve the world, to be blessed by my light so that you can assist others is granted. As you open your heart and mind to me, your every touch becomes my touch. Your loving gaze holds the light of my own eyes within. May grace live in you, flowing through you into the heart of the world. And it was interesting because I also wanted to pick a card out of activating the flower of the card, but it's interesting that it was number 14. So this is number 14, and this is
Uh-huh.
number 14. So we have both 14, and 14 is the number of balance, harmony, trust, commitment, allowing your dreams to blossom. So 14, I will read a little bit of this one, of the activating the flower of love card deck, but embrace the power within and align yourself with your deepest desires. Your soul is calling out to you, urging you to awaken to your truest self. So take a moment to connect with your innermost yearnings and ask yourself what truly makes you happy. Allow the wisdom of your soul to guide you towards the people, experiences, and environments that uplift and inspire you. It's time to let go of what no longer serves, consciously realigning with your authentic self. And both messages for me and this October is about your dreams are here to blossom, but it's not with the mind. It's not something you force. It's not something you control. And we are really being invited to go into this embodied stage. And that's where the Divine Mother is stepping forward as well, to let it be birthed through this creation from within, holding space for the download to come and then allow it to rise in its own divine time, but really from this inner centeredness, from this inner alignment. And that is inviting us to surrender, to trust in the process that things unfold in a way that is, yeah, so beautifully beyond what our mind can understand. So the message for October is trust, surrender, allow yourself to be floated by the universal river, guided from this beautiful wisdom within, because that is where your true dreams come to life, not with how the mind wants it, but with your heart. Follow. The Divine Mother is holding space for your beautiful creations to step forward. So pursue your dreams from within. Stay present in the now moment and let it guide you, because there's so much wisdom, so much sacredness everywhere around. So let's call in October. Yes.
Yay. Yay. I guess I'll go next because what I was smiling the whole time you were doing that meditation. It was like you read the words off the card I drew today. Seriously. And then, so I'm drawing from the Mushroom Oracle Spirit deck. It's beautiful by Nicole McIntosh. And because, October's in North America anyways, and probably in most of Europe is such a mushroom month. September, October, we get the fall mushrooms. And the one I drew today is, it's a spooky looking mushroom. It's the fertility mushroom. It's the bamboo mushroom. It's also called a stinkhorn mushroom, which sounds really ominous. But here, let me just read you this, and you see what it reminds you of Kim's meditation. This card represents having a thorough understanding of what it is necessary to achieve what you need to grow and spread your seeds. So I know, pretty much verbatim from what she said. Drawing this card suggests that if you have set the scene right by understanding the relationships you rely on, everything will come to you effortlessly to ensure your survival, and spread your seeds. When you rely on others, you must understand their needs as much as your own to make any mutual relationship work. What you offer must be enticing, and without having too much more, others will spread the word because you have laid the foundations right. And this mushroom has, like, when it's maturing, it has like a net-like veil over it. So it reminds me of the networks we create now through our relationships. When we plant the seeds, it's like our network will take those seeds out, like the wind takes the dandelions and spread them out into the earth to make them grow. So our ideas are, we need to use our relationships and our friendships and trust that they will help us spread our light and our words and what we need to put out into the world, because they're part of our world and they're a partnership in our dreams. The net you scatter is not to catch people, it is to help them to get where they want to be. You can show them how to overcome their obstacles, and in return, they will help you overcome yours. So that's this. And I don't know, do you want me to tell my first story today to get the ball rolling?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so because it's spooky season, it's starting a spooky season, and this theme will be right through October. We have some spooky guests and some not, but our last guest this for October will be Jim Harold, and he will, the OG of the paranormal podcasting. So he and his wife Dara are coming on to talk about their shows. But here's a story I like to tell about my first truly physical ghostly, or where spirit reached out and touched me. So I was at a naturalist workshop at the Queen's Biology Station, and there's, you go to a weekend one and you stay overnight in their little dorm room huts, like little dorm room houses. That's not the station. And the station is on beautiful Pinnacon Lake, and we're back in nature there, not out on the lake. And so there was maybe 6 or 7 of us, not a lot of us, in this naturalist workshop, and it was through the winter. So we were going on winter night hikes and going to see mud puppies and doing winter naturalist things. Anyways, so there was lots of rooms in the house, so we all chose our own room, and I chose this room, and I noticed that in this bunk room there was a feather on the table beside my bed. I said, oh, cool, that just speaks to me, so I'll choose this room. So I'm in my sleeping bag, sleeping in my bunk in the middle of the night, and I felt a hand go down my arm, and I woke up and I looked and I said, oh, must have been a ghost. I really had that thought in my head. Must have been a spirit that touched me. So, like everybody does to protect themselves, you turn around and put the sleeping bag over your head and go back to sleep, because I was tired. But I wasn't really, I wouldn't say even frightened. It was like I had this knowledge that that's what happened. And, I'll just put the sleeping bag over my head and turn around and go to sleep. I wasn't scared out of my mind or didn't stay awake the rest of the night. So the next morning we're at breakfast, and we're all sitting at the table enjoying our breakfast in the cafeteria, the common room. And our biologist, who had been leading the class all day, says, so since nobody has to sleep again overnight, I'm going to ask you guys, I have to tell you a little story. He says, this summer we had a student who was working on certain things, doing a certain thesis and proving things and going out and collecting samples and that. And every night she'd come home and sleep and get to go to bed in her bunk. And he said, did anybody sleep in the room with the feather? And I go, I did. He said, she'd go to sleep in that room on the bottom bunk. And every night and I said, feel somebody touch her arm. And he looked at me like, oh my God. And I finished the words before he got them out. Instead of, yeah. He feels like, yeah. Did you feel that? I said, yeah. And he said, yeah, she'd feel somebody touch her arm. And she said, one night she came in and the feather was on her pillow. So that's why the feather's there. So I thought, oh, okay, so I'm not going crazy. And I was right. So I went back into my room. I had to still pack up my stuff. And I thought, well, that's really interesting. I'll, whatever. So I sat and communed a bit for that and didn't get any other hits, sort of. And so I go back to work. And my friend Holly's at work, and she says to me, oh, you were at the Queen's Biology Station this weekend? I said, yeah. I said, I slept in the White House. And she says, oh, that place is haunted. And I said, you could have told me that before I went. And she said, oh, did you have an encounter? And I said, yes. So I told the whole story. So that's my first real solid spiritual ghosty type. I've had lots, but that I gotta say that was the most real touching. It wasn't cobwebs in your face. It was a real, like, down your arm, somebody just not malicious or anything else. And that was the story that I heard.
I love it.
That's it. So,
Cool.
Teresa, do you want to go next, or
Hey.
shall I pass it on to you?
I'll do it.
Okay. There we go.
First, I'll show the card, and I think this card does go along with the other ones. The deck I'm using is called Magical Dimensions by Lightstar, and this is her second edition. And what this card is called is Illumination. It's about inspiration, positivity, and joy. So how do we get in the flow? How do we stay in that flow and let our seeds and ideas go out? Well, if we keep ourselves more in a state of inspiration, gratitude, they're having her heart there. What they're talking about is just allowing the light to flow from your heart as it will, and it kind of leads you to places and things. When everything we do all day long is just so inspired and so touching. Now we're staying in the joy. Now we're staying in that flow. So that's what this card is encouraging us to pay attention to our illumination and what we're illuminating in our life and what we're bringing in and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. Did you want to hear my story now, or we keep going? Okay. So like everyone, we have all kinds of stories, and it's hard to pick one, but I do have a favorite one that I've shared before that I really like. And it was like this time of year, when it gets dark a little earlier at nighttime. And we had just finished eating dinner. This is back in California. And me and my daughter had just finished eating dinner, and we're sitting in my bed watching the TV, which was like beyond the foot of my bed. And we're watching The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. So it's probably the Disney Channel or something. And we had sliding glass door to the side of us. The sliding glass was open, but the screen was closed. Okay, so everything's normal and fine. We're letting the cool breeze in because in California, it is still so hot, even in the fall. And then you're just waiting for those cool breezes to come, and bless you. And so we're just allowing the breeze to come in. It's all good. But I look up there in the corner and I can see there's like a mist or a cloud or a shadow. Not really shadow, it's more like cloud right up there in the corner. And I go, look at that. There's no fire outside. It's not foggy. You could see. And so we both looked at that, but we went back watching the show, the things that we do. And then the next time I looked up again, this shadow, mist, white mist, not shadow. I don't know why I keep going, because it had no substance. You know what I mean? So I'm working with something intangible. It was crawling across the ceiling, taking on the shape of a big old snake. And it got to the center where my light fixture was, all my lights coming in. And I could see where its head was. And it allowed the rest of its body to wrap up right there into where the electricity was. And I think, you see this too? Oh, yeah, that's really neat. And I think we both said our hellos because you just, I don't know, I'm not trained back then anyways to hold a conversation. So I was like, well, hello there. And then it started coming down from the center toward the foot of our bed. And that's where our dog jumped onto bed. It's Padfoot was her name. And it's a little Papillon. And it's jumping up and barking at it, jumping up. And as it was jumping up, barking, this thing is coming down lower and lower. And I'm thinking, I just don't know what kind of encounter this is. I'm going to grab that dog. And so I got up and I grabbed the dog and gave her to Anthony right there. And then I stood really close. And with all my heart, I wanted to touch it. But I was so scared because it was hooked into the electricity. And I've seen enough movies. I just don't want to end up against the wall or something. So I didn't, but I could see the scales and I could see everything. And I just did not know what to do with that encounter. So we, blessings and love, whatever you want. And then I sat back down and we kept the puppy because we didn't want the dog to keep going over there again. and it slowly dissipated and went out of my swamp cooler unit. It is where it exited. And of course, by the time it was getting toward the tail end of exiting, I jumped up and I ran over there and I touched that just to see if I could feel anything, and I didn't. But geez, just if I knew this stuff now, and I never did ever find a full answer that I really feel of what that thing was. But there it was, its own creature of itself. And it was a weird thing. Afterwards, we didn't talk about it for days. And when I would talk about it, great fear would come over either of us. And it was really hard to talk about. And so now it's all fine. And I don't know what all the fuss was about. But in the beginning, there was some kind of fear, but nothing happened to us to make us fearful. So it's more of a, what the heck was all that? Oh, Rhonda, you're muted.
Yeah, what the heck was that? And it's great that you had somebody to see it with you, because oftentimes, like when you're alone in bed at night, except for the fact that the biologist could validate that somebody else's story, I bet she feels better now too, that somebody else was touched. It wouldn't have validated, but it was great Anthony saw it as well. But that is a strange, and I would be scared. I'm sorry, I would have been scared for that. The arm touching, not too bad. Having a snake spirit crawl into my house and come down from the ceiling.
If it was a real snake on my floor, I would have ran out of the house and refused to go back in. So why was I not afraid of the one crawling on my ceiling? I don't get it. Nothing makes sense,
And if there was a real snake on my floor, I'd pick it up and take it out the house.
Oh,
but so they don't bother me. But that one would have freaked me out. I gotta say, I don't know. It's hard to top that one, Marla, but we're going to see if you can. Because I don't know what can top that story.
Yeah, I don't think so, but thanks for sharing. That was fun. All right, I have 2 cards also. And first one I'll do from Kim's deck. Love this deck. So it's number 40. Unlock the wisdom within. Okay, let me try it so I can see it in the light better. As you raise your vibration, new opportunities and possibilities are opening up for you. Take a moment to become aware of what you've been creating lately, as there's a new depth opening, a new spiral, a new opportunity within all that is already. Asking you to become aware. Go within and ask for guidance and clarity. What higher vibrational keys have you been receiving to unlock new portals within your divine blueprint? Listen to your inner wisdom and trust your intuition. Allow your seed of creation to blossom into full potential, unlocking a new level of growth and expansion. You are a powerful creator. Time to discover these new vibrational keys to unlock new depths of your being. I love how we don't even try, and they always
they all kind of fit together.
It all just comes together.
And I think everyone had a 4 in it, or not? I don't know.
Yeah, mine was 24. Yeah.
I think mine was 23. So
okay.
Okay. So, but yeah, 4's coming up a lot, right? And so even just thinking about, 4 directions, the elements, like all these things, there's like so much support, so much symbolism that you can go into there. And I love the symbolism on the card too. It just feels really good. Like I wore my rattle that I made, and I'm like, I don't know if you can hear the rattling, but just like shaking, clearing out any resistance, just clearing that out to be ready to receive the newness that's coming in. And then the second card is from Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors.
Oh, I love my deck.
And we have the Shaman.
Ooh. Very
Trust
powerful.
in higher forces. Trust in your angels, guides, and ancestors. If you have given your power away, claim it back. On the inner planes, all the shamans of time gone by are helping the human race to understand the completeness of life and the needs of Mother Earth. The complexities of life. Many are working on spiritual guides to light workers and light warriors. The shaman card brings the energy of your shaman guides to you. Shamans believed that when there was illness or disease, it was because a person's power had been left behind somewhere, or a negative pattern had installed itself in them. In trance, they would travel to the underworld to recall this power and remove the demon, quote unquote. If this card comes to you, it's because you need to do some release work with lower energies or work with your lack of trust in the spiritual energies that are guiding you. The shaman will, sorry, throat chakra. The shaman will aid you in your quest. Extended message. There are spiritual allies working in your favor I'm sorry, my eyes today. I think it's all the computer work. All right. There are spiritual allies working in your favor, and that their miracles will unfold much more easily when you move into a state of trust. So call back your power and stop allowing external forces to direct you from the miracles you deserve. When you do so, you allow them to send you intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct the situation and come out on top. The Shaman card also shows that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. And I know, I think most of us, if not all of us here, can access the Akashic records and connect with our guides and stuff that way too. It's just really interesting for me hearing that, even on a personal note, just with the healing portal that I've been in for the past about 7 weeks now, and just, okay, this gives me something to go sit with. Where have I potentially given away my power with this? Where can I call back my power? What can I release? So I think it's a beautiful invitation just to go on a little shamanic journey and see what comes of it. So yay. And as far as my story, so it wasn't necessarily a paranormal experience, but more of a UFO sighting. My first, where I was like, okay, yeah, that was definitely not an airplane. So we went to Hawaii summer before last, and it's quite we had a lot of jet lag, and I was up at 3 a.m. there, because it would have been 8 or 9 here in Central Tennessee. And I'm sitting out on the lanai, just looking out over the water and just being present. And then I noticed, okay, here comes an airplane. All right, I watch the airplane come in, get ready to land. And then I'm I see some more lights, but I'm wasn't the same pattern as the airplane. They weren't moving, they weren't getting closer, or they just were staying present. And I was I'm texting these ladies. I'm I think I'm seeing a UFO. And the more I sat with it and watched, and then there was they kind of just separated. At first it was major one light, and then they separated into, there was one main one and then 2 on each side. And they hung out there for a while, and I was okay, this is exciting. You want to come closer? What message do you have? And it wasn't really, I didn't get a specific message per se, but just acknowledging their presence and just feeling so much gratitude for the experience. I'm I always knew that they're there, but just to experience it, I'm oh, this is such a privilege. And then I watched, then dawn broke, and I'm watching, and I'm looking at the horizon, is there a ship there? Is there something, that would be, accounting for these there was nothing at all on the horizon. There was nothing else there. And I'm okay, it was just really cool to watch. And then before dawn broke, they merged together as one again. And I was okay, it was really cool.
Oh yeah,
I remember that. That was amazing. Yeah. The orange guys. That's what I call them. The orange guys.
And it was interesting then too, because then my daughter and I went to this farm here in Tennessee, but it's in Eastern Tennessee, and we were doing stargazing. We were glamping, and we started noticing and being more aware. Okay, which are stars, which are airplanes, and then there was some that were pretty sure those are UFOs also. And then I had somebody else confirm that frequents the farm. She's oh yeah, you can really see UFOs a lot here at the farm. The activity, there's a lot of activity. And I was yay! It's just exciting to be able to have my daughter see it, and also to be able to just witness it again, and just like they felt very benevolent, and yeah, I felt supported, and it was exciting.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm so glad that there's more of us seeing them. And I think it's a frequency thing. I think the higher frequency we vibrate at, the more able we are to see them. It's just like, and just being sort of open to seeing them, I think helps that. So everyone who's watching right now, please put a number in the chat, and we'll do our random generator chat number for picking a card. And whatever, this will be the personal part. So this personal message is for you. If you pick a number between 1 and 4, put it in the chat. I'll give you a second to do that. And in the meantime, everybody else, if you've already done that, please make sure to like this video, like and subscribe to our YouTube, to the Breakthrough Show Network YouTube. And if you're listening to this on our podcast, please rate and follow the show, because it really helps us with our numbers, and it helps us tell guests that, this is how many we get, and it helps our pushing it out into the universe. And share it with your friends, because who doesn't need to hear more great news of light? We hear enough bad news on the news. Let's spread the light news. Okay. So I'll random generate everybody around here. Oh, Teresa, you're first. So you're number 1. Teresa's number 1.
Oh, finally. No, just kidding.
Teresa's number 1. Yeah. Okay.
I'm still using the Magical Dimensions 2nd edition by Lightstar. And here, this is heart portal. So you recognize the green from the heart chakra and the pink that is our love and stuff. So just like the other card I shared, I noticed how similar that these cards are. And it's about keeping your heart open, no matter what the circumstances are and things that are going on. It may be easy to shut down, like, oh, there's too much overwhelm, I'm just going to sit here on my own. I kind of like to do that kind of stuff, but this is not the time to do it. It's not the time to be in our head about anything. It's time to come down and be in our heart, and to breathe from that space, and to find the solutions to what we're asking about in this beautiful space of our heart. So if you've picked number 1, your answer right now is to just come to your heart. And if you think that's oversimplified, here's the thing. When we're busy and we're doing things and we're reacting, we're not in our heart. This is when we're up here and we're disconnected from our heart. That's why doing things like artwork, singing, dancing, creative things brings us back down from our head and into our heart. And then you can do the breathing exercises where you breathe nice and slow and your body knows it's safe. That all starts the heart opening. And from that space, we can add in joy and positivity and keep our vibrations high. Then that's when the answers start coming. Are like, oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that one. So that's what your card is. Stay open in your heart, no matter what. Stay open.
Cool. Thank you. For number 1, that was Teresa. Stay open in your heart. Okay. So I'm going to put Marla, who is number 2 on the random generator. You just don't know how this works. It's
so I'm loving how the theme is even continuing with the second go around. So I'm pulling from Self-Adventure cards by Anytime Creative, and we got craft something.
Oh. Okay.
Create a mosaic, design a collage, sew a quilt, practice calligraphy, create a scrapbook, try printmaking, practice origami. So I think the one thing that's important, like Teresa was saying, like that's a big heart opener, and that's one way to also work through any resistance or blockages that you have to what we've been speaking about already, like downloading your gifts and just leaning in. When you can become one with creative flow, like things just open up for you, and you'll notice that the blockages that were there are no longer there, or they're either gone completely or they're a little bit lessened. And there's just something about crafting. I just know from experience that when you can get in that flow, there's such a feeling of aliveness and joy, and just, it's hard to express if you've not been there. But if you've been there as another creator, like, like it's just so magical. And also, like, I often wonder, like, why don't I do this more often? Why am I not taking the time to do this more often? So this is your invitation this month to step into crafting. And also remember, the inside of the deck says, I am enough. You are enough. You don't have to be crafting something that's Pinterest worthy, or, whatever. Just let go of any lack limitations around that too. Just do it. Like, you don't have to be an artist that's going to be selling. You don't have to be something that's going to sell. Just do it to be in that creative flow, and you'll see how things open up for you.
Sweet. Love that. Number three is Kim. Kim, that's the number 3 card.
Yes. I was guided to pick a card from the Beyond Lemuria deck of Izzy Ivy. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. But the card is Our Ancient Future. And you see like all of these beautiful colors. So our ancient remembering is emerging. Seed crystals and the knowledge they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions to bring true knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. And for me, this card is all about the remembering all that we are searching out there. It is truly within ourselves, within Mother Nature, within the core of our being. So you are being invited to go within and to truly let your inner guidance lead you forward. There is something powerful rising, but sometimes we need to release certain things to come back to our truest self and to come back to, okay, what is this wisdom that we carry within? So allow the now moment to guide you. And sometimes it can be challenging, but then it's inviting you to come back to your heart and to come back to the blessings that are around you, and just sometimes the simplicity of life that is the most beautiful gift. And in that, we start to notice the wisdom that we carry. In that, we start to open these beautiful seeds, but it's not with pressure, it's with love and nourishment and intuition. But it's really going within. Be true to who you are, be present, because each now moment is guiding you into a new future, into a next level, into something you are here to anchor. So receive the beautiful codes of this card. Yes.
Sweet.
And I love that. Yeah.
Me too. It's a
I love
beautiful
that. Artwork is gorgeous.
Yes.
Okay, so I have number 4. So if you have number 4, you have the wrinkled peach mushroom, and which is unique. So uniqueness is a gift. Make sure you use it well. Bring what makes you into everything you do, and you will draw to you the people who resonate with that energy. That is your unique medicine. Being unique obviously has its plus side as well, because with rarity comes a need to protect it so it doesn't disappear. Unique minds and people are way showers that can change the world. They are sometimes outcast for not conforming or being the same as the rest of the crowd. But when their beauty or wisdom is seen, they become noticeable for all the right reasons. Being unique takes strength to stand on your own, to make your own path, and not to bend to peer pressure. Uniqueness is a strength, not a disability or weakness. Find what makes you unique and stand fully in your own power. The world doesn't need more vanilla. It needs more way showers and the creativity to see and do things. So there we go. Also with crafting, as well as being unique and feeling that accomplishment in the world. So be a wrinkled peach mushroom this week. Be unique. Number 4. So
I love that.
I enjoy that too. So that brings us to the end of the day. Anybody got any more stories or anything that they thought of? Kim, did you think of anything while we were going down?
mine are not as yours. It's more synchronicities that come on my path, or like things you feel like, okay, this can't be true, or that we had the same thought or the same energy, or something shifted, or I sometimes see little lights. But it's more like let's see, whatever sparks in divine time. Yeah. And it are the beautiful downloads, but it's not in the way as you all shared, the beautiful downloads for the codes that just came in and that just rushed through you, and this flood you feel, but that's in a totally different way. So, but it's always amazing to hear all of these stories, and I'm looking forward to seeing the October messages, and the October podcast. So yes.
Yeah.
So anything else, Marla? Marla, you're safe in Tennessee. Teresa's safe in Tennessee. The power stayed on.
Thank you.
Our prayers to our friends in North Carolina and into the other states affected that are still without power, to Florida. Our friend Nancy Louise is safe, but she has spotty cell service and no Wi-Fi right now. She was up the side of the mountain near Asheville, so she wasn't flooded out, thank God. But that's the devastation.
And Nancy, you know what she's going to do? She already been shopping early before the storm came. She's already getting ready to make everybody some vegan lasagna. Doesn't that sound just like Nancy? You know, here there's disaster going on, and what's Nancy doing? She's getting the food ready for everybody.
That sounds like Nancy, for sure, taking care of everybody. So anyways, you guys, like, who can watch us or listen to us on the podcast, just know our thoughts are with you. I mean, and we send our healing energy to that, hoping everything will work out okay for you. And that, it's like send protection in and hope. I know we've sent power trucks from Ontario down to, I guess, going to Georgia and South Carolina, and going down there in North Carolina, going down there now, so to help out as well.
All right. What did you?
That's what neighbors do. Yeah. Thank God we're safe here. So, anyways, this will progress on Sunday on October the 3rd and 4th.
I have a class coming up. Can I share about my class?
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
I'll get the post out about it with the right date, but it's like in the second week, not this week or the next, but the one after that. In the middle, I'm starting. And what I've done is I've been playing with neurographic artwork, and I've been making it my own. And now I do readings with it. I pull 4 cards, and I incorporate pictures from the 4 cards into the artwork. And so here's one of them I did for somebody's birthday. And you can kind of see the things, but see the neurographic artwork gives it like a church, those
stained glass
windows. Yeah, it kind of gives it that look. So that's one with a couple of cards. And here's another one. I got a night sky there with a moon and all kinds of things. And there's unicorn. Over here's a dragon, which I'm learning to draw. So the classes that I'm teaching, you don't have to be an artist to do it, because you can start out easy and have just things, just beautiful colors. And it's relaxing. It counts as me time, but it could also be transformational as you go along. And there's many beautiful and magical things about setting an intention while you're in your heart space doing art. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 5-week course, and you can be certified. And I can't wait.
And where we will find the links on Spirit Sessions, and where else?
I'll put the links out everywhere, but this is through the Breakthrough Show Network, okay, where it'll be at, which is such a fun community. We get together for so many things. Poetry. We had art classes last week from Brittany, teaching us about colors and stuff, which is a perfect class right before mine, about the colors.
Primer. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So they just follow that link. They go to the Breakthrough Network virtual world, and you go into a classroom where you teach from, correct?
Yeah. And I'll try to get that post out today so everybody can find it.
Okay. And you will be on a show next week before your class. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday.
That's
talking more about neurographics in detail.
Where I've gotten with it. It's too much. I started out with just pencil, and now I'm branching out to marker and stuff. And I just love things that grow and expand as you do, you know? So this is one of those.
Kim, have you got anything that's going on this week for you? Or are
No, we're in the embodiment journey for 3 months. So we're starting again 26th of November. So if anyone resonates with that, I would invite you to join. And if you join before 1 November, you get a free one-on-one session with me. So we can already start the journey. So yeah, but we're in this beautiful deepening spiral, and it's a 3-month journey. So it's really, we're in the center of all the beautiful things that are arising. So I'm really honored. Yes.
and how about you, Marla? Anything going on for you? Are you getting geared up with all your malas for?
Those are always an option, the tantric malas. And I've really just been deep diving into the Germanic New Medicine world so that I can share more about that too, upcoming in November, just kind of what my journey has been with it. And just sharing, I'll be able to share a little bit more about what it is and how it can be used in your life too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm incorporating that also into sessions. So working with clients, incorporating that, and along with my other toolbox of alchemist tools. So yeah, it's just the whole, just keep adding to that. But that's where my focus is right now, and just really working with people with that.
Yeah, really looking forward to having that episode where it's new Germanic medicine, for dummies like me who can't even remember the titles. Thanks again, ladies, for joining us today. And again, catch us on our podcast, download the show, check us out on YouTube. If you get bored, there's like 7 seasons worth of archive there, and it's all free, and it's all for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.